Hi, Gordon here with another edition of the Unscripted Series. And this week it's actually going to be somewhat scripted. I've got here these fancy notes that I'm going to be reading from. But I wanted to tell you that there are big changes that we're making to the ordering system at MyMOA. And we are immediately instituting a build slot lottery. It's free to enter, but a lottery that will hopefully, in a fair way, allocate our few build slots to people. The reason we're doing this is that, as you know, we don't make many instruments every year. They're handmade, and we've been faced with increasing demand, and now it's just at an unprecedented level. Several years ago, our backlog was about 7 months, and then there was just a time where it just notched up from 7 to 12 months. And I think it's been, I haven't looked, but it's been at 12 months for maybe 3 years or so. And now in the past few months, it's notched up to 14, and it doesn't show any signs of abating. We've got an increasing demand. And that's just not something that we want to see. And there's a few ways of affecting that. We could decide to increase price in some dramatic way, but we don't want to do that. I'm not saying we won't at some point increase our prices, but we think our ukuleles are priced appropriately and fairly, and we don't want to use price as a way of throttling the demand. Another thing we can do is increase production, but we don't want to do that. We're very happy doing what we're doing and having our hands on the way that we do and trying to produce with a quality and consistency that we do. To increase production for us would mean to build a facility and hire people that build, and Shar and I probably become shop managers, and that's just not a direction that we want to go in for a variety of reasons. So we're really faced with the only other way of, in our mind, of addressing the demand issue, and that is by this build slot lottery. You may wonder why we didn't pre-announce it. I'm sure there are those of you watching this now that think, "Oh, I was going to order, today or this week or as soon as my spouse said okay." But if we had pre-announced this and said, "Hey, just want to let you know it's coming," we would have defeated the purpose. We would have, I'm sure, had a rash of orders, and just not something that we think is healthy. So that's why we're doing it in the way that we're doing it. So let me explain now the lottery and how it works. As I mentioned, it's free to enter, and it's not a wait list. So there's a page, if you go to the store tab on our site, there's now a page on ordering and entering into the lottery. And there's a video there very similar to this one that explains it, and a bulletized list. So it tells all about it. So we periodically are going to create build slots in our schedule, and when we do, we will randomly draw names from the list of entries in the lottery, and we'll assign those slots. If your name is drawn, we're going to give you 7 days to put down your deposit, your $300 deposit. The reason we're doing that is that if you decide, hey, I don't want to do it, or we don't hear from you, or your email address has changed, we can't get in touch with you, we need to move on and assign that slot to somebody else that's waiting. But we realize that you may be traveling or out of touch for a few days, so that's why we thought, 7 days seems pretty fair for that. If your name is drawn, whatever the current terms and pricing are at that time is what will apply to the order. We anticipate that we will maintain about a 12-month wait list, or backlog, I should say. So once you get a build slot, you can expect it's about 12 months to completion. We may change that. We may work it down a bit, but there will be some amount of time to wait while your ukulele is built. And if your name is picked in the lottery, you'll be removed from the lottery. You can re-enter, but if you want, another build slot, but you would be starting from scratch. And what do I really mean by that is that you can enter obviously enter the lottery, and then what we're going to do is give you an opportunity. Everybody gets this opportunity that every 30 days you can enter again. You're already in it, but it will give you another entry and another chance to win. And let me just make a very simple example. Let's say Shar and I are the only two people in the lottery, and I have been doing this now for 3 months, and every 30 days I've gone to the page and resubmitted. That means my name is in there 3 times, and Shar just entered, and so hers is in once. So I have a much better chance. My name is in 3 times to her 1. I have a much better chance of winning that build slot than she does. So this is a method that we're using in order to favor those people that have been in the lottery the longest and waiting for a build slot the longest, and yet it still gives new people some chance of getting a slot. You may remove your name at any time. And let me just now go on to the set we've thought of some conditions and limitations on the slot and on the lottery. So please do remove yourself if you're not committed to a build. It will make it more fair for everybody else, and it will make it easier for us to continue to manage this process. You cannot transfer your build slot to somebody else. So you can't enter for somebody else. You can't sell it to somebody else. We're not trying to make more money here, and we're not trying to give other people an opportunity to make money. There are no deferrals. So what that means is that if you win, you need to place your order then and be prepared to, put down your deposit and pay for your ukulele when it's strung. And if you're not prepared to do that, then please don't enter the lottery. There's 1 instrument per, order or build slot. So if your name is picked, you can order one instrument. By entering the lottery, there is no guarantee that you will get a build slot. We just don't know how many people will be entering the lottery and how many build slots we'll have now and in the future. And lastly, and I wondered whether or not to mention this, because the ukulele community and our enthusiast group are really a great group of people who just sort of naturally do the right thing. But every once in a while, we do have someone that misunderstands a bit. And so I just want to say, please don't abuse the lottery. Abuse would be entering your name in with multiple email addresses, or having your friends enter and taking their build slot sort of surreptitiously. I'm sure that there are ways of defeating the system. Please don't try to do that. And obviously, if we were to see that someone's trying to defeat the system, we would have to remove your name from consideration in the lottery. So hopefully that answers all the questions about it, and we certainly appreciate all of your support over our years. We love doing what we're doing. We want to keep doing it, and we want to be able to do it with the same quality, as I said, quality and consistency that we have been in the past. And I think this is the most fair way of accomplishing all of those goals. Thanks. I'll see you next week.